The Mobile County Commission is now called to order. If we could have Pastor Christopher Williams, Sr., who is here today. Welcome, Pastor. He will give our invocation. If you would please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Good morning. Let us pray. Gracious Father, again, we come asking your blessing upon this meeting. We ask your blessing upon the things that will be covered today. Forgive all of us of our sins and wrongdoings. Lord, we ask a special covering of our county commissioners. We bless them today. We ask that you would continue to look over and watch over and protect them. Then, God, forgive all of us, again, of our sins and wrongdoings. Bless this meeting. Bless all of us who are here. Grant us pleasure and please you in all that we do. We ask these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this morning we have a resolution as well as a special presentation. We will begin. We are recognizing National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and we have a presentation to Kenesha Jackson, who is a victim advocate with the Lifelines Counseling Service. If Ms. Jackson, if you'll come forward, we'll join you. Make those introductions, because I don't have the name. Good morning. Good morning and welcome. We're so happy to have you both here today. And we are very glad that the county is able to recognize you today, as well as National Crime Victims' Rights Week. We have, and first of all, would you introduce who is here with you as well, Kenesha?
Yes, with me I have Judy Ware from Mobile County DA's office. She's a victim service provider.
And the resolution we're presenting today reads, National Crime Victims' Rights Week, April 24th through 30th, 2022. Whereas the term victim is more than just a label and has legal standing and protections that go along with it. And whereas Crime Victims' Rights Act passed here in Alabama and the federal level guarantee victims the right to meaningfully participate in the criminal justice process. And whereas equity and inclusion are fundamental prerequisites to survivor care and survivor-led services that provide victims with opportunities to share their experiences are essential blueprints for support. And whereas Lifelines Counseling Services has provided comfort and support to victims of violent crimes in this community for over 60 years, bringing awareness and education to the masses while offering high-quality assistance to those in need. And whereas Lifelines Counseling Services serves a cross-section of people of various races, socioeconomic, and educational levels, in 2021, Lifelines provided 462 counseling sessions, 118 crisis phone calls, office visits, follow-up victim support calls, court advocacy, family, friend support, transportation, information, and referrals to community agencies for residents of Mobile County. And whereas Lifelines Counseling Services is hereby dedicated to strengthening victims and survivors in the aftermath of crime, building resilience in our communities and our victim responders, and working for a better future for all victims and survivors. And now, therefore, let it be resolved that the Mobile County Commission proclaims the week of April 24th through 30th, 2022 as National Crime Victims' Rights Week in Mobile County, Alabama. Furthermore, we call on all citizens to join us in commending Lifelines Counseling Services for the services it provides to the community. Signed by all three commissioners. Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
I would just like to thank everyone here and thank the county commissioner for this resolution and us being here today. And I would like to pass it on to Judy.
Thank you, Kenesha, for the introduction. It is our mission at the District Attorney's Office to vigorously prosecute crime, deliver justice for all victims, and support law enforcement in seeking the truth. Fighting the effects of crime and providing victims with these services is a community effort. It is an honor to be here with Lifelines and other community partners that we have here with us today. We have a Victims Resource Fair and Vigil next Thursday, April the 28th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. In honor of National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and we would like to invite you all out there at the Cooper Riverside Park. Thank you.
Okay, Cooper Riverside Park, and tell me the date and time again. Thursday, the 28th, from 6 to 7 p.m. Okay. Thank you both for everything you do, and keep up the good work. We appreciate you. Let's give them a round of applause again. We're going to get okay. Next, I think we have a. Oh, all right, because we have another presentation. So, but we'll go ahead. Let's see. We have one retiree here today. Okay, I didn't realize that we were doing that. I'll read their names in just a minute. But today we have James Stewart. Hi, Mr. Stewart. We're doing great. Thank you for joining us today. And we want you to be here to thank you for your years of dedicated service to the county. How many years is that?
10 years and 8 months.
And you're in the telephone department.
As 98.
Right, which is?
As Camp 1 cylinders.
Camp 1 Schillingers. Okay. And we have a pin to present to you today, or a medallion, I guess we could call it. And also a certificate on your retirement from the Mobile County Commission presents this certificate to James Stewart and wishes to express its sincere thanks and gratitude for your 11 years, 10 years and 8 months, 11 years, we'll call it 11 years, of dedicated service. Your wisdom and commitment to excellence have long inspired all of us and will be remembered for many years to come. We wish you good health, happiness, and continued success in your retirement. And it is signed by all three commissioners. We are proud of you. Thank you so much.
Commissioner, we have a presentation. Commissioners, there's a presentation from Child Advocacy Center.
Right. I'll read off the names of the other retirees.
Or when you get back up.
with Victims Crime Week, because all the children we serve are victims of crime. We say they're sexually abused, but if they were adults, we would say they were raped and sexually assaulted, and which makes it, to me, a little bit more realistic of what we do. We want to thank the commission for helping us do that, because it is a true collaborative of 7 different agencies, several of them county, the Sheriff's Department, Mobile County Department of Human Resources, Lifelines as a partner, University of South Alabama, Pritchard Police Department, Mobile Police Department. So, but we all come together to take care of these kids, and without y'all's help, we couldn't do what we're doing. So we're just here to say thank you very much for helping us do that. Here's the plaque.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, just rest assured, we will always support your efforts, and God bless you for what you do. Thank you. And I think we're going to get a picture. I did want to go ahead and I'll go ahead and mention the names of our other retirees. We have Vicki Sprinkle. She is a record specialist, and she has 21 years of service. We have Patricia William with 23 years and 11 months, who is a public safety dispatcher. And we have Sandy Watkins with 13 years as a corrections corporal. So we appreciate their dedication and hard work and service to the citizens of Mobile County, and we certainly wish them the very best in their retirement as well. Okay. All right. Do we have any speakers this morning?
Yes, Commissioner, we have 2 pages worth of speakers this morning.
Okay.
Three people have signed up to speak regarding agenda item 35, subdivision of Longmire Trace, I believe.
Longmire Trail,
Longmire
McFarland
Trail.
Road, and Dawes Lane,
Yes,
east.
ma'am. So the first is Marion Kirscher.
If you will, please, if you'll give us your name and your address.
Hey, good morning. Marion Kirshner, and I live at 4729 Megan Court in the Chad Estate subdivision. I recently purchased Plot 12, which backs up to the proposed subdivision they're talking about here. We definitely have some concerns. First and foremost, this is like 44 acres, most of which is wetland. There are many, many, many different types of wildlife, especially birds that fly in and out. Birds you shouldn't see typically in this area unless they are around wetlands, like red-winged blackbirds, egrets, Mississippi kites, things like that. So I'm concerned as to whether or not this plat is going to, I guess, do a well enough job giving these wetlands, preservation for these different types of species to come in and, just thrive. In addition, drainage issues, we're really concerned about that because we don't have any types of flooding problems where we are now. But this is supposed to be a 219 lot subdivision. So when you try to cram 219 lots into 40 acres, you just don't really have a whole lot of room to work with. Thirdly, our issue is traffic. So if you have 219 lots, 219 houses, 219 families, that is a huge amount of traffic that you're adding to those streets. And where these streets are, there are no traffic lights. We just have these traffic circles. So it's just going to be a continuous influx of like merry-go-round traffic constantly. So I'm wondering if that's going to be safe, for the neighbors and the kids to get out and play and things like that. Fourth issue that we just want to make sure has been addressed is schools. My daughter goes to Theodore, but I think some of this may fall in the Baker subdivision as well. Is that going to be inundated with students, is it going to be able to accommodate the influx, whether it's elementary, middle school? What about buses? Are there going to be enough buses to handle the capacity of kids, which would be, residing in this new neighborhood? So all in all, we just kind of want to make sure that, everything has been addressed, because this is a huge, huge construction that they're talking about doing. The lot beside us is beautiful. It's pristine. There's wildlife. Coyotes. All kinds of things. So it's very quiet, very peaceful. I just don't know that all of these other issues have been thoroughly addressed. 219 properties. That's a lot of people moving in, and it's just a very small landscape to do it with. So that's my argument. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have two more signed up to speak on this.
Matthew, are you coming down to speak on, or you want to wait?
Yeah,
to the
why don't
end?
you, let's let them speak, and then I was going to ask you to come up and address some of these issues, if you would. Next, we have
Linda Ma, and she'll speak from up at the top.
Okay. Do we have a mic? Okay,
Yes.
we've got it set up.
My name is Linda Ma. I live at 4728 Megan Court. I'm right next door to the acreage that's going to be a subdivision. One of my main issue is I've had to deal with moccasins, copperheads, and neutral rats. I didn't realize it was going to be that way when we purchased our home, and I've killed quite a few in the past 5 years. And I lost my husband 8 months ago. So I'm there by myself, and I'm having some health issues. And if I just feel like if they go to clearing all this property, we're going to have a war with moccasins, copperheads, and these neutral rats that are bigger than cats. And that's my main concern, and it does concern me because I am next to the pond, the wetlands. It's right there beside me. So that's my complaint.
Thank you, Miss Ma.
Is that are you in Chad Estates as well? Is that the same subdivision? Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Our third speaker on the same topic is George Williams.
Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is George Williams. I live 4749 Megan Court, same subdivision. I live next door to her and across the street from the other one. It's a cul-de-sac. I'll keep my story short, and I'm not telling this story for sympathy. I'm just telling the story because it is what it is. I spent 27 years in the Coast Guard. My last unit was Dauphin Island. I retired from there in 2015. We fell in love with Mobile, as a lot of coasters do. But I've been diagnosed with PTSD, and I have cancer as well. And once again, it's not for sympathy. It's just for the fact that that's a quiet neighborhood. And one of the main reasons we moved in, A, the quietness of it, and B, the fact that we were told that was wetlands, so there never did be construction there. So after moving all over the country for 27 years, I finally buy my forever home, and I find out they're going to put 219 houses right next door to my neighbors, which is going to affect me as well, along with the snakes and everything else. Noise, the amount of noise and stuff is going to be hard on me. And I'm not asking for your sympathy. I'll restate that again. But this is just devastating to my family. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you. Those were the three signed up to speak on that particular topic. We have one more signed up for a different topic. And others behind.
Okay. Matthew, if you could please address.
Before Matthew speaks, I'd like to say a couple things. But particularly, I'll let Matthew address the issues of wetlands and maybe Brian speak on behalf of the other concerns that you have. But I do want to say that in the last 3 weeks that and schools are a big concern because I have children at Causey Middle School and at Baker High. I'll have a son at Baker High School next year, and Baker High School is the second highest enrolled school in the state of Alabama. Causey Middle School is the highest enrolled middle school in the state of Alabama. So I had a meeting several weeks ago with Superintendent Threadgill and some others with my concerns, and I've had some preliminary conversations with our engineering department concerning the same issues that you guys have. When do we reach critical mass on not only our school system but also the sheriff's office? I mean, when do we reach a point where we have to start looking at some of these subdivisions we're approving, and when do we need to slow down or ramp up? At least let the school system catch up. I think it'd be an easy task for the sheriff's office to catch up, and our, a lot of these areas like where you guys live in Chad subdivision, you're on a volunteer fire department out there, so those are concerns of mine as well, and that's my district, and that's why I'm kind of addressing this. But I do want you guys to understand that I have had some preliminary conversations about those 3 items and traffic as well in the area, but mainly the school system, the sheriff's office, and law enforcement and public safety. And I'll let Matthew address the environmental concerns and maybe some of the drainage issues that he can address. Thank you guys for being here today also.
So this is a 3-phase. So what we are asking you to approve today is a preliminary plat. So this is a 3-phase subdivision. They've gone through and they've delineated the wetlands on the entire tract, and they actually have large common areas to set aside those delineations of wetlands, and have provided a 25-foot buffer around those areas which are designated as wetlands. With regard to the wildlife, I don't know if there's anything that we can do about that. We don't have any regulations in our toolbox to be able to do anything with that. We can ask Fish and Wildlife to look at it, or we can ask them to have one of their professionals get Fish and Wildlife to look at it. Mm-hmm. But beyond with the control, the vector control, we don't have any real jurisdiction over that. We don't have a noise ordinance, and so there is nothing that we can really do to control any noise. Only thing we can say is, hey, it's in 3 phases, so it shouldn't be continuous through the whole project. Once it's built out, the noise should tamp down to what a normal neighborhood would be. Beyond that, it provides interconnectivity between a couple of routes that we've already had in our long-range plan, including the McFarland Road extension through. The roundabout was constructed there because they were anticipating larger traffic flows, and I think we are already trying to take measures where McFarland and 3 Notch are together, in addition to the roundabout at Dawes Lane and 3 Notch. But beyond that, I'm not sure if there are any questions. It does meet all the subdivision regulations.
So the standard of approval for the county, legally speaking, as long as they meet the requirements that are set forth in law, in the code?
In the subdivision regulation.
In the
yes.
subdivision regulation, the code that covers that, the statutes? Okay, and what they've done so far, you're saying meets that, all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
But there are issues that the neighbors are concerned about that really the county has no control over. For instance, the school situation, which would be a school board issue.
I do believe that this is one of some 6 months, a year ago, when we were looking at some more preliminary plats, we started forwarding a lot of these to the school board to let them know what was coming. And I'm sure this is one of the plats when we had a preliminary meeting in December with the developer, and that we sent it board said, hey, this is coming. You know,
Okay.
like us, they are constrained by time, and it's hard to prepare for something that comes so quickly.
Understood. Well, Commissioner, in order to be able to answer the questions that your constituents have, are you prepared to move forward, or do you want to wait to get more specific answers on some of these?
I think with the in consideration of it being in a three-phase setup, the way that you're explaining that, and to keep ourselves out of possibly any legal issues, I think and Brian or Jay can address those better than I can, but I don't think that we're in a position that we can not approve this because of some legal issues that Brian may be
Not approve, delay, but
yeah.
But Jay, can you tell us from a legal standpoint what we can and cannot do?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, I listened to what Mr. Barcliffe said. He's exactly correct. If it meets our criteria set forth by state statute in our enactment of our subdivision regulations, while the concerns of these people are valuable, county has no jurisdiction to enforce matters beyond our properly passed rules and regulations. So you really don't, legally you have no choice but to grant it, whether you do it today or perhaps in 2 weeks from now. You have no choice but to grant it, in my opinion.
But at the same time, even though we have no authority or jurisdiction over the schools, for instance, or the wildlife issue, we can be advocates in terms of contacting wildlife officials and also advocating for making sure that we have the schools to accommodate the influx of people in an already heavily stressed area.
And we are, again, I think in the last 3 weeks, Brian and I met with the school system to discuss, although we do not have jurisdiction over the school system, but there is some concern, and they're concerned as well. And so there was some concern of, the meeting was to discuss a potential location of a new school in that area, high school and middle schools in that area. And I know that doesn't alleviate all your concerns, and I don't have an issue with holding this over, and I'll personally meet with you guys. And but again, I think it's going to happen either today or in the next couple of weeks. But if you guys are asking that we delay this, and you guys would like to meet with me and maybe some people from the engineering department to give you a better understanding, I'd be glad to do that. I don't think that would cause an issue. Matthew, Brian.
How time sensitive is this?
Yeah, how time sensitive is the?
I would have to talk to the developer to
They're
see
all,
how time.
If you hear them, they're all time sensitive. So
Everybody who talks to me has
I'm willing to do
time-sensitive
that if it would help you guys to sit down with me and have more conversation. I don't see that 2 weeks is going to make or break anyone, and that's just how I feel about it. Particularly when you guys took the time to come down and express your concerns. Brian, how do you?
Is that acceptable?
Commissioners, it would require us some additional manpower to resend out notices and things of that nature.
Okay.
I really don't know that there is a problem with us proceeding ahead with the approval of this preliminary plat at this point in time, one being the phasing, but there are huge common areas associated with this subdivision. And if you look at the plat, the areas adjacent to the subdivision, Chad Estates, that's a big common area just to the north of them where no lots are even being proposed. Yeah. So they're basically preserving the wetlands that are out there, large common areas adjacent to existing developed areas. So I would think that would help alleviate some of their concerns, but the environmental issue of rodents and snakes and things of that nature, I don't know that we can control that at all. But we have initiated discussions with the school board, as Commissioner Stewart mentioned, and finding an area for a new school out in that area is high on their priority list right now. We're working with them through the pay-as-you-go program.
So you're
assist
saying that to delay would be problematic from the county from the standpoint of having to reauthorize or reissue notifications.
It would require additional labor on our part, but if the commission desires to hold off 2 weeks, that's not a problem at all. It's just a little bit of extra effort on our
Commissioner,
part.
I'll leave it to you to whatever you decide.
I would like to have an opportunity to speak with my constituents and hold this over for 2 weeks.
All right.
And I apologize. I wasn't aware that there was an issue until this morning, but I would like the opportunity to do that if it's okay.
Eddie, when we get to item number 35, we will plan to hold that one till the next meeting in 2 weeks.
Danny, will you? Thank you. My assistant is on her way up to see you guys right now.
Okay. Thank you all. We have another gentleman signed up to speak on a different subdivision, item number 34, which is Gallops Creek Drive in District 2. And Mr. Ken Wilson.
I'm sorry?
Ken Wilson.
Ken Wilson.
Mr. Wilson, I didn't get a chance to speak to you before the meeting, so speakers typically have 5 minutes. You can come on down. So please state your name and address, and if you get close to 5 minutes, have a little. Thank
Hello,
you.
Mr. Wilson. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ken Wilson, 8151 Whisper Lakes Court. And I'm speaking about a proposed subdivision that's called Two Ridge Subdivision, and it backs up to my property. The plat, the only plat that we have been provided with is simply divided into 2 lots. It's a 115-acre overall purchase, and it's basically divided in 2 sections. And we have lot 1 and lot 2. Lot 2 is the area that backs up to my property. In lot 2 in particular, but also in a small area of lot 1, there are also wetlands. So it's a very similar conversation to what was just had. And our concern is, first of all, the development, okay, but again, legally, you have to let people they can buy property and do what they want to do with it. I understand that. But I'm more concerned about the wetlands. I did some research into wetland buffer zones and the requirements for clearances around those. And to be honest, I couldn't find anything. It looks like the state of Alabama defers to the federal government, to the Corps of Engineers. The Corps of Engineers has a very circuitous approach to this where they defer a lot to the local governments. So I couldn't find anything that delineated a buffer zone for a wetland, nor could I find any information that just prescribed vegetation or plant life documentation for sensitive vegetation or sensitive animals or plant life. Okay. So those are my questions. How do we delineate what that buffer zone is? Is it an arbitrary number that we use, or do we have a set rule that we go by that is published and available for these types of developments? And also, do we have a procedure for establishing the plant life and the animal life in the area to make sure that we're not endangering something that may already, further endangering something that may already be endangered? So those are kind of my questions. And in addition to that, the plat that we have only shows 2 lots, which are 56 acres each, 57 acres each.
Mm-hmm.
There's no definition of what the planned development is. Is it multifamily? Is it single-family dwellings? There's no information that I see that was provided to us that defines what that development even would entail. So those are my questions. I'd like more information. I'd like to understand how the buffer zone is defined and see that properly delineated on the plat, not just the wetlands itself, but also the proper buffer zone.
Absolutely. Okay, Mr. Wilson, we have Matthew, who is going to hopefully give us the answers to your questions.
So the division that he's talking about is enabling the developer to work through another multi-phase development here. This
Uh-huh.
is going to be part of a Valor Ridge, another single-family home type development. He will get another notification with the preliminary approval for the phases of Valor Ridge that show where the houses are and where the streets will be in that development. Right now, our subdivision regulations require a buffer within the Big Creek Lake watershed. The new ones that we've sent out for comment will be more comprehensive in the buffer they require around wetlands. The wetlands are generally delineated by a professional that the developer hires. As part of that delineation, I'm given to understand that plant life is looked at as one of the categories for wetlands, but with regard to the animals or any wildlife, I'm not sure of any jurisdiction we have over any other endangered species. Again, we need to reach out to Fish and Wildlife to be able to determine those things. Large developments like this, we have no zoning, and so it's oftentimes we may not know. In this case, we do because they've been planning with us for several months, but we may not know what kind of development is coming in there, and we can't limit or restrict the development because we do not have zoning in the unincorporated areas of the county.
Do you know what's being planned? What type of development?
Single family.
Single family?
Yes.
And how many single family residences are they?
I would have to go back and look at my
Planning.
list and see. We will have another notification, and the commission will have the opportunity to approve another preliminary plat for each of the individual sections that are being broken out at this time. They're doing this in an effort to be able to close and to purchase the property and get the agreements in place prior to beginning the development.
Well, who has responsibility for signing off as far as the plan or implementing the plan in terms of the wetland area and making sure that the sensitive areas are, according to the professional's opinion, that those are maintained and that there's no harm done? I think that was Mr. Wilson's concern, that these areas were preserved as they are supposed to be.
So we will look at the plat and we will make sure they've got them properly delineated and buffered. The Corps of Engineers actually has jurisdiction over the protection of the wetlands and the uses and the mitigation of any that they may have to deal with in the course of construction.
Okay. And the Corps of Engineers is very specific on their requirements, as we know, because we've had to deal with them on multiple occasions.
Yes, ma'am.
And,
even we get to deal with the Corps of Engineers.
Right, in the same way that citizens do. So,
and we'll be more than happy. Me and the staff will meet with him to try to answer any particular concerns he has, and we can share with him.
Okay.
I believe the developer would be okay with us sharing with him some of the preliminary drawings on the units of this other subdivision.
And he mentioned that there were only 2 subdivided lots, and this calls for 3 of what's before us. So, were these? I don't know how you obtained them. Were they sent out with the notice?
If he requested a copy of the plat, we would have provided what's in your book.
Okay.
So he may.
He was speaking to 2 Ridge, not Gallops Creek.
Okay, I thought he was.
Apologies, I stated the wrong one. He signed. Yep, it's 33.
Oh, 2 Ridge. Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah, 2 lots. I was looking at the wrong one too. Okay. Well, I would appreciate if you would meet with Mr. Wilson and but they have met. The developer has met all the requirements as far as what their submittal of information.
Yes, ma'am.
To the county.
Our review has indicated that it meets the subdivision regulations. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So legally speaking, I guess we're in that same boat as our previous conversation, as long as they've met all our requirements. Is this one time sensitive? I mean, we could wait the 2 weeks, or you tell me, is this the same situation?
This one is a little different because it is a preliminary and final. So if the commission approves this one, the county engineer would sign it and they would be able to record. There is always a time-sensitive issue with developers in terms of they set closing dates in anticipation of commission approval. And so closing dates may get pushed, and there may be additional costs incurred by developers or property owners.
Does that
by delay.
create a legal issue, Jay?
I think any delay starts to create a legal issue.
Okay.
Trying to impose conditions that are not specifically set forth in our policies and that provided to us by state statute creates legal issues. I think a short-term postponement to try to get cooperation from other jurisdictions is fine, but the longer you wait, the higher the risk it goes. We have legal problems.
Okay. So if this is approved today, but you will meet with Mr. Wilson and answer all of his questions and provide him, make sure that he has the correct plat with everything.
Yes, ma'am. And the commission will have an opportunity to see this again as one or both of the lots of 2 Ridge are further developed.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Commissioners, we have a request from the floor. The developer of Longmire Trail subdivision would like to speak, but he hasn't signed in.
That's back to item
35.
Right. Is there any objection?
I don't object.
No objection? Okay. Give us your name and address, please.
And you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Hey, good morning.
I didn't know anybody was going to speak, so I didn't know I needed to sign in. So thank you for. I just wanted to get. My name is Steve Harbin. I'm the development director for 4-Star Real Estate Group. My address is 6362 March Road. So, Commissioner, I am in your district also. I don't live too far from this development, so I understand the concerns of traffic. I drive through this area every day, just about it. I just wanted to ask if we could, you to reconsider taking this off the table today and for the preliminary plat approval, because we do have a closing coming up, and due to just us working through things, our time is running very crucial to this, and so the owners may be in a little upset that we are getting kind of delayed. I mean, 2 weeks from now it won't be right at it, but we've got time to get paperwork and that kind of stuff. So I wanted to let you know that we are kind of in a time crunch a little bit with this one. I just wanted to present that, and I also wanted to clarify, it was saying 40 acres. This is an 80-acre tract. So the 219 houses, single family, this is on 80 acres, not 40 acres. That's the reason for the wetlands, the large wetland area being preserved, and large green spaces for a playground and different things like that. We're trying to bring a community, not a subdivision.
Yeah.
We're wanting to build communities for Mobile County.
And I appreciate you coming, and I appreciate you speaking. And obviously, people that I've kind of made a promise to that I would hold this over have already left. And I understand your situation, but I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of delay after the next 2-week meeting. So I apologize, but if you had spoken before, maybe we could have worked this out. But I think we've already set up meetings with them, and I'd prefer to stick to what I told them I would do, and that's to hold this over.
Okay, understand.
And we will, and I'm assuming and pretty sure from what I hear from Matthew and Brian that this will ultimately end up on the next agenda anyway, or as an agenda item on the next meeting. And if it does come to that, and I think I'll try to have it on the conference, and we can possibly vote on it at the conference meeting, which would be about 5 days before the regular meeting that we would, May 5th.
And the regular meeting is May the 9th, I think.
And I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you guys. Can I ask you one question, though? Is there typically, D.R. Horton doesn't build private road subdivisions. Is there a reason why this one is dedicated as a private road subdivision?
Yes, sir. We went through with our consultant, Dewberry Engineering as our consultant for this.
Yes.
There is some drainage that we're trying to do, and some of the drainage is not getting out quite quick enough. So not the whole subdivision, but there is sections, so it needs to be private neighborhood.
Yeah. And that's your prerogative, and
right.
And I won't say hate, but I dislike private road subdivisions simply because I'm dealing now, and I'm sure you guys are as well, with subdivisions that were built 20, 25 years ago on this same model that are private road subdivisions. And you know, I talked to a gentleman yesterday who lives in a similar situation where 20 years ago, you know, he was young, he was excited about buying a new house and didn't really take into consideration what a private road subdivision was. And now that they're having issues, frankly, the people that live, there's about 40 houses in this private road subdivision that they can't afford to come up with the money to resurface their road. And so it just becomes an issue down the road. That's why I wanted to ask. I read that this was a private road subdivision.
Yes, sir, and we have been addressing that as far as private roads and that kind of stuff. And if you would like to schedule a meeting ourselves with engineering and see if we can come up with something, be more than happy to sit down. No matter what, we're building it to county specifications.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything. We are building this to county specifications because we have to have whole warranties no matter what.
Yeah.
So we are building this to county specifications. So
Understood.
if we want to sit down, try to have a meeting and try to come up with some things that we could do, we'd be more than happy to sit down and do that.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Commissioner's holding this over to the next working session, which will be May the 5th, will give us just enough days, 10 days. So we'll get the notices out this afternoon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I kind of had given my word to those people that I would hold this over, and I don't want to change that now that they're gone.
All right.
Thank you.
We do have, well, first, apologies for misreading the subdivision. Mr. Wilson spoke off. It had flipped the page. We have 3 representatives here from Volkert to talk about the agenda add-on number 4, American Rescue Plan Act.
Okay. Did you want to explain?
Yes, so the commission will be considering a project list that we will provide into Volkert to move to the next phase to get projects funded. And so we've asked Volkert to come and just give a little update this morning on how we got to this process, the application process, the vetting process that was able to put eligible projects in front of the commission for consideration. So,
And this is relative to the ARPA funding, American Rescue Plan Act funding. Good
Laura
morning.
Russell with Volkert, address 11 North Water Street. So Volkert and Horn, I've got 2 people with me here with Horn. We were contracted in August to provide program management and administrative services for the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds for the American Rescue Act. Mobile County was allocated $80.26 million to respond to COVID-19 pandemic while investing in initiatives for a strong economic recovery and reducing demand for state taxpayer dollars used for recovery efforts. So our goal is to assist the county commissioners and staff in applying the United States Department of Treasury and other statutory requirements to the county allocation to assure that money is appropriately allocated and that program allocations are properly documented and managed. The United States Department of Treasury published the final rule in January of 2022. With the help of staff and commissioners, we used a multi-step, data-driven process to identify the use of funds, which included identifying county priorities as it's related to the COVID-19 pandemic, built guideposts to ensure county priorities aligned with proper use of funds. We held a public comment period to seek public input and use of funds. The public input resulted in over 146 responses, while the Facebook post reached 21,000 people and received 164 engagements. Proposals were submitted from agencies, nonprofit organizations, and private entities for projects funding, which resulted in over 213 applications received. The funding request totaled 4 times more than the allocation. A multi-part application review process was conducted on all 200-plus applications to ensure proper justification of the updated Treasury guidance and alignment of county priorities. During the review process, we identified over $362 million that were eligible in funds, and $185 million were in alignment with ARPA priorities. We've helped the county identify a list of projects to move forward into an additional phases of review, which consist of roughly $61 million in funds. Do you want me to go through the list, or?
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate all the work. It's been quite comprehensive, I think, and I'm really proud of the process. You know, this is the first time, this was like inventing the wheel in some respects, because we've not had this amount of money from the federal government for that specific purpose before. And so we wanted to make sure, first of all, that we had community input. That was very, very important to us, and I think that we have achieved that. I think the numbers prove that. And it was an exhaustive amount of work to go through all the applications and then to make sure that they met Treasury Department guidelines. And a lot of them did, but a lot of them did not. And so those that did not were eliminated. And then it was the task of going through those that did and determining what was the highest priorities and what would have the most impact on the community, particularly in light of trying to deal with the COVID pandemic issue and the after effects and aftermath of that, and what would have the most impact. And so I feel good about the process, about where we are and the work that's been done. And I just want to say thank you to Volkert, and thank you to our staff and our administration, Glenn and Eddie and Dana, Foster Allen, and everybody. Really, it's been a team effort here, and to reach a consensus to be able to narrow all of that down to the amount of money that's available to us. I think we've done a good job.
Yeah,
and
the
so,
staff has been a great help for us.
Wonderful. So thank you. And I know that Eddie has the list of projects in the Tier 1. We have Tier 1 and Tier 2 projects. And I think that it's worthy of mentioning we had a lot of projects that were submitted that were infrastructure, water, and sewer projects. And we have decided to delay those because we are anticipating that there will be some state funding available for infrastructure, water, and sewer projects. So those we're holding as basically is Tier 2, and so we're awaiting word from the state on that. So what you will hear today in the Tier 1 group is they don't include water and sewer projects, and that is the reason.
Yep. Thank you.
No one else has signed up to speak.
Okay, thanks.
So I would ask that the commission consider taking item 46 on the agenda, which is the number 4 add-on, and consider it now. If that's acceptable, I'll read through the list of the projects, and then we'll read through the agenda item.
Is there any
take a
objection
vote.
to taking out of order or moving it? No objection?
Okay. So as the commissioner indicated, we do have a list of Tier 1 and Tier 2 projects. And this is a list of projects that we're releasing to the Volkert team for the purposes of continuing the due diligence phase, the compliance assurance phase, and then once that is complete, If that time shows that these projects can be funded in this amount and is appropriate, then we'll move forward with the adoption of the plan, and then we'll move forward with issuing funds for those projects. So the Tier 1 projects are those projects which the Commission intends to fund pending the results of that due diligence and compliance assurance phase. And those projects are 100 Black Men of Greater Mobile for the Leadership Program in the amount of $750,000. Africatown Redevelopment Corporation for the Historic Preservation and Affordable Housing in the amount of $3 million. Alta Point Health Systems for the Bay Point Bed Addition, $6 million. Boys and Girls Clubs of South Alabama for the new Boys and Girls Club and Van Purchase Project for $456,848. The Boys and Girls Club of South Alabama Summer Enrichment Program for $660,000. The City of Sims for the Public Safety Complex, $200,000. Commonwealth National Bank for an Economic Development Program, $1 million. Friends of the African American Heritage Trail Community Revitalization Project, $500,000. Habitat for Humanity Affordable Homes, $645,000. Mobile Area Interfaith Conference for the Academy of Career Development, $180,000. Mobile Community Correction Center, the Inside Out Program, $677,217. Mobile County Commission Finance, Accounting, and Payroll, $3 million. Mobile County Commission Government Plaza Outdoor Pocket Park, $800,000. Mobile County Commission Cybersecurity IT Hardware and Software, $887,578. Mobile County Commission COVID-related expenses, $556,291.59. Mobile County Commission Mobile County Sportsplex, $4 million. Mobile County Commission Shelter for Residents Project, $2 million. Mobile County Commission West Mobile County Park Playground and Splash Pad, $3 million. Mobile County Commission Capital Equipment Purchases, $1,206,114. Mobile County Commission One-Time Non-Recurring Benefit Number 1, $4,577,430. Mobile County Commission One-Time Non-Recurring Benefit Number 2, $4,047,474.82. Mobile County Commission District Funds Projects to be determined, $7,500,000. Mobile County Commission Increased Broadband at Parks, $750,000. Mobile County Commission Master Plan for Civil Rights and Cultural Heritage Districts, $3,500,000. Mobile County Commission Equipment and Upgrades to Metro Jail Sewer System, $900,000. A joint project with Mobile County Commission and the City of Mobile for the Court Technology Upgrades Project, $869,283.86. Mobile County EMS Cardiac Arrest Units, $1,050,000. Mobile County Volunteer Fire Department Capacity Enhancements Project, $1.5 million. Mobile Sports Authority Portable Basketball Volleyball Courts in the amount of $530,000. Mount Vernon Senior Center Van Purchase, $252,250. The Moa Band of Choctaw Indians Emergency Food and Utility Assistance Program, $300,000. Restore Mobile for the Build and Rehab Single Family Affordable Homes Project, $1,250,000. The Sickle Cell Disease Association of America Mobile Chapter for the financial assistance to households with sickle cell disease, $223,677.15. The U.S. Battleship Memorial Park for the teak deck replacement project, $1 million. And then lastly, the Veterans Recovery Resources Medical Detox Facility for $3,800,000. The Tier 2 project list, and as a reminder, these are the projects that the Commission is not ready to fund at this time, but releases these projects for further evaluation to the Volkert consultant team. And in the event the Commission determines to move these projects to the Tier 1 list, they can then be approved for funding. These Tier 2 projects are Alter Point Health Systems Mental Health Court, Bala Battery Utility Board Phase 2 Priority 2 Wastewater Project, the Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners of the City of Mobile, Alabama Water Service Line Identification Project, Child Advocacy Center of Mobile for the Child Abuse Prevention Specialist, Grand Bay Water Works Sewer Service to Grand Bay Phase 1, Habitat for Humanity Critical Home Repair Project, Kushla Water District New Water Supply Well, Mobile County Commission for the Wilmer Senior Center, South Alabama Utilities Citronelle for the Airport Boulevard Water Plant, and lastly, the Turnerville Water and Fire Protection Authority new water main at Celeste Road. And that concludes the list.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie. Commissioners, any comments or questions? Discussion? Ready to vote?
If there's no comments, I so move.
Second.
Okay. And so for the record, the agenda item is approved project list for further evaluation for American Rescue Plan Act funding by the Mobile County Commission.
Very good. It's been approved. Thank you.
All right. Item number 1, approve minutes of the regular meeting of April 11th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Item 2, approve a list of claims.
So moved.
Second.
Item 3, hold public hearings so any citizen of the county shall be given the opportunity to be heard for or against any item related to the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance report.
This public hearing is now in session. Is there anyone here to speak for or against this matter? There being none, the public hearing is now closed.
4, approve sponsorship agreement with 3 Mile Creek Partnership in the amount of $3,000 from District 1 funds for the annual Creek Fest.
So moved.
Second.
Item 5, approve appropriation contract with the Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $8,765 from District 2 funds for outdoor benches.
So moved.
Second.
6, approve appropriation contract with the Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $10,104.88 from District 3 funds for materials to construct a storage building.
So moved.
Second.
7, approve appropriation contract with the Liberty Learning Foundation in the amount of $5,000 from District 2 funds for its Super Citizens program.
So moved.
Second.
8, approve reappointment of Jack Tillman to serve on the Board of Trustees of the Mobile Sports Authority as District 3 representative for a 3-year term effective May 14th, 2022 and expiring May 13th, 2025.
Danny, are you sure you can deal with him for that long? All right. So moved. So moved.
Second.
Item 9, adopt resolution declaring certain items assigned to the Citizens Office surplus as surplus and authorize their removal from the fixed assets list to be disposed of by lawful means.
So moved.
Second.
10, authorize subrecipient agreement with the Board of Water and Sewer Commissioners of the City of Saraland for sewer improvements in Shelton Beach Estates community for up to $100,000.
So moved.
Second.
11, authorize advertisement of requests for proposals for technical assistance and administrative services for the Home ARP program.
So moved.
Second.
12, approve appropriation contract with the City of Bala Battery in the amount of $5,000 from District 3 funds to be applied to the purchase of a brush truck for the Bala Battery Fire Department.
So moved.
Second.
13, approve amending the 2021 capital improvement plan to increase the estimated cost of Africatown Historic Structures project by $1,418,049.96. This amendment also reallocates $1,418,049.96 from District 1 unnamed projects to the Africatown Historic Structures.
So moved.
Second.
14, award bid to Owl Hills Boiler Sales and Repair for Metro Gel Kitchen Precision Boiler Replacement for their total bid in the amount of $57,800.
So moved.
Second.
15, approve change order number 1 with Tyndall Construction for Sims Senior Center improvements. If implemented, the change will decrease the contract by $10,000. The new contract total will be $148,000.
So moved.
Second.
16, approve license agreement with Quick Internet Software Solutions for a term beginning May 1st, 2022 and ending April 30th, 2023 for software used to administer old workers' compensation claims.
So moved.
Second. Is that old workers? No, I'm kidding. Keep going, Eddie.
That's for the old ones.
Yes. 17, rescind lease agreement with Coffee Monster approved on May 10th, 2022, item number 28, and approve new lease agreement with Coffee Monster, which primarily affects the commencement date of the lease, which will now begin on May 15th, 2022, for a period of 12 months thereafter, pending legal review.
And I'll just say that the legal review is complete. Thank you to Ozzy that works with Tyler to help make some other minor but appropriate adjustments to it. Nothing changes of substance except the date, commencement date.
Because of the delayed construction.
Right.
We might want to, if we're going to have Mr. Ross's name, we might want to spell it out.
JR?
What about JR? Oh, I see that now. I'll be sure to add that in the corrected minutes. That's a good catch, Commissioner. I didn't see that.
So moved.
Second.
18, authorize acceptance of grant award and subrecipient agreement from the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for the Northwest Satsuma Water and Sewer Project in the amount of $1,756,137 with no match required, and authorize execution of all associated documents.
So moved.
Second.
19, approve amended memorandum of understanding with the Waterworks and Sewer Board of the City of Satsuma relating to the county implementation of the Northwest Satsuma Water and Sewer Project funded by Restore, and authorize execution of all associated documents.
So moved.
Second.
20, approve amendment number 3 to the Mobile County Park Initiative contract with Watermark Design Group dated June 22nd, 2021 to add task 5, additional engineering and design services for Chickasaw Park.
So moved.
Second.
21, approve application for beer and table wine alcohol licenses of Publix Alabama for Publix Alabama 1796 located at 9124 Cottage Hill Road, Mobile, Alabama.
So moved.
Second.
22, approve applications for certificate of need submitted by Yes Contracting Services to transport industrial, construction, and demolition waste to permitted facilities in Mobile County. Equipment to be stored at 25361 US 98 in Daphne.
So moved.
Second.
23, approve subscription agreement with Lease Query for management of Mobile County's real property leases in according with Financial Accounting Standards Board and/or International Financial Reporting Standards and/or Government Accounting Standards Board. and other professional services at cost for terms to be set out in individual sales orders subject to final legal review.
So moved.
We have that same initial issue in this
MED?
item. Martha.
Oh, okay. No initials.
We'll be sure those get deleted moving forward.
Did I second it? Second. Thanks, Sandra.
24, approve shrimp boat lease agreement with W. Darrell Weskovich and Christy T. Weskovich for one boat slip located at 11485 Burnwood Drive, Theodore, Alabama, 36582 for the purpose of mooring their shrimp boat at a cost of $200 on a month-to-month basis commencing on April 21st, 2022, but not to exceed 12 months.
So moved.
Second.
Number 25, approved shrimp boat leased agreement with Eric O. Barber for one boat slip located at 11485 Burnwood Drive, Theodore, Alabama, for the purpose of mooring his shrimp boat at a cost of $200 on a month-to-month basis commencing on April 21st, 2022, but not to exceed 12 months.
So moved.
Second.
26, approved shrimp boats leased with Kenneth E. Sprinkle for one boat slip located at 11485 Burnwood Drive, Theodore, Alabama, for the purpose of mooring his shrimp boat at a cost of $200 on a month-to-month basis commencing on April 21st, 2022, but not to exceed 12 months.
So moved.
Second.
Number 27, approve appointments of F. Todd Lazing, Ph.D., and Tina Sanchez to serve as members of South Mobile County Tourism Authority.
So moved.
Second.
28, consider taking the following action on bids.
So moved.
Second.
29, approve request from Mobile County Conservation District to waive fees for the use of the John Archer Center on May 9th, 2022 for the feral hog trapping demonstration and field day. There will be no cost of preparation for the county.
So moved.
Sounds interesting.
It was. I was looking at, my eyebrows went up. I think I may have to go and check this out.
Do not bring a weapon. Second.
As long as they're not selling pigs, I may go.
Number 30, approve agreement to purchase mitigation credits from Lillian Swamp Mitigation Holdings for Howells Ferry Road at Fire Tire Road. The estimated cost to Mobile County is $8,000.
So moved.
Second.
31, authorize acquisition of property and acceptance of right-of-way deeds and or easements from the following property owners for the following projects.
So moved.
Second.
32, authorize assenting to the county engineer's approval of an extension of the approval for the preliminary plat for 1 year from the previous date of approval, Grady Place Phase 2.
Can someone give me a description of what we're doing here on this? Please. I didn't get an opportunity to read it, and I figured it'd be easier for you to explain it, Matthew.
The county commission approved a preliminary plat for Grady Place a little over a year ago. They requested an extension. Subdivision regulations allow the county engineer to grant an extension for any projects that haven't begun for 1 year, and they've requested that extension. And so this is an acknowledgement by the commission that the county engineer has extended the approval on that preliminary plat.
All right, thank you. So moved.
Second.
33, approve preliminary plat only of the Pines at Colton Place.
So moved.
Second.
34, approve preliminary and final plat of Bentley's Cove.
You're gonna read the other two, or just?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. And preliminary and final plat of Two Ridge. And preliminary and final plat of Christ Church at Bell Creek Subdivision.
So moved.
Second.
Number 35, we're holding over. 36, approve CDP project, Mossap Road, roadway improvements, professional engineering design, and right-of-way mapping. The estimated cost to Mobile County is $30,000.
So moved.
Second.
37, approve assigning contract for professional engineering services for Mossap Road, roadway improvements to Driven Engineering.
So moved.
Second.
38, approve right-of-way and/or easement agreement for Track 2 in the amount of $250 for McDavid Road, grade drain basin pave.
So moved.
Second.
39, approve right-of-way and/or easement agreement for Track 7 in the amount of $710 for Barlow Road and Havens Road, grade drain basin pave.
So moved.
Second.
40, approve final plat of Briar Grove Phase 5 and accepting road rights-of-way as shown on the subdivision plat for the following streets, and accept the roads in this subdivision for maintenance by Mobile County together with drainage systems as it affects said roads, and accept the warranty deed for the rights-of-way indicated on this plat.
So moved.
Second.
41, approve the functional reclassification of the following roads as listed below.
So moved.
Second. We have Windsor spelled two different ways, so we just need to make them consistent. I think it's the same road.
D was left out.
Okay. Number 42, approve setting the following speed limits as listed below for roads, segments of roads, and subdivision streets.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioners, I may want to point out that the very last item, right above item number 43, it says West Subdivision. That should be Westmont Subdivision.
Westmont?
Westmont.
Okay. Please make that correction. Is there a motion to approve?
I'm sorry.
Second.
So moved.
Second.
Daydreaming.
I thought I heard you too, so that's
thought
really
I-
a problem.
All right, item number 43 is the first add-on from administration. Approve Mobile County Commission's letter of support of the Alabama Department of Transportation's Infrastructure for Rebuilding America grant application through the U.S. Department of Transportation for the Safe 98 project.
So moved.
Second.
Item number 4 is the second add-on administration item. Approve CDP 217-22 sponsorship agreement with Mobile Area Interfaith in the amount of $400 from District 2 funds for its annual luncheon.
So moved.
Second.
Item 45 is the number 3 add-on from administration. Approve application to fiscal year 2020 Economic Development Administration Public Works and Economic Adjustment Assistance Programs, including CARES Act funding departments of Commerce, Economic Development Administration, an amount up to $5 million for the Mobile County Soccer Complex.
So moved.
Second.
Item 46 was already voted on. Item 47, commission announcements and/or comments.
Commissioner Lickett? Commissioner Stewart? Well, tomorrow is Earth Day, and we've got a lot of activities planned. And Cherie, you want to give us a rundown? I know I mentioned these before at our last meeting, but just kind of give us a recap of everything that's happening tomorrow.
Will do. Tomorrow we have 2 different Earth Day events, 9 a.m. to noon at Mobile County Recycling Center on Hit Road. We have our Mobile County Earth Day celebration, and we'll be giving away plants to the first 100 people. We have a limited supply T-shirt giveaway. There'll be a shred event, electronics recycling event, and opportunities to sign up for cleanup days and mix and mingle with organizations that do good work to protect the environment. And that evening at the Japanese Gardens is the Love Your Community Earth Day celebration. Japanese Gardens is near Langen Park. And then also, it's April is National County Government Month, and so we've been doing a few things. We have an art contest that the deadline has been extended to April 30th, and information on the art contest and submission instructions are available on Mobile County's website, Mobile County's social media, and Mobile County Community Calendar. And then, of course, we're posting every day on social media for National County Government Month, and I'm very excited to see the numbers come through. There's been a lot of activity and events, and a lot of engagement, and so we're thrilled about that. So our new Instagram and our new LinkedIn are getting a lot of action, and I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cherie, and thank you and Dina and your entire department for all the great work and keeping us plugged into the community with all the social media platforms and all the interesting facts and information that you're putting out. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay. Is there anything else? We've covered it all? Okay. I know we have immediately following this meeting, we have an Indigent Care Board meeting. So, Eddie?
Number 48, approve request for motion to adjourn until May 9th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
We stand adjourned. Okay.
Again, the Mobile County Indigent Care Board meeting. Item 1, approve minutes of the meeting of March 28th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
2, accept report from the Mobile County Commission of the balance in the Indigent Care Fund at March 31st, 2022. Funds available, $289,757.65.
So moved.
Second.
3, approve the disbursement of Indigent Care Fund cash receipts on April 6, 2022 for the period of January 2022 through March 2022 to the following entities in the following amounts.
So moved.
Second.
Number 4, approve request for motion to adjourn.
So moved.